There is a major change happening with Social Security at the end of this month. Most people will not be impacted by it. However, this, according to reports, is the beginning of a massive change that will impact millions of Social Security beneficiaries. So, if you receive Social Security benefits, then this is a video you need to watch and prepare for the coming changes. So let's look at what the big change is and how this is going to impact every single Social Security beneficiary. Look at this. It says Social Security payments. Federal benefits to go electronic this month as paper checks phase out. At the end of this month, the federal government is going to switch from sending out paper checks to now everything is going to be electronic, or you have to get a special debit card. You're probably thinking, well, no big deal. I don't get paid through a paper check. I get an electronic deposit anyway. And you may be right. You may be part of the majority of Social Security beneficiaries that do get the electronic payment. But here's where things are getting interesting. And then we'll dive more into this article right here. The reason why this is very interesting is because we are hearing more reports that the Social Security Administration is trying to cut back on wasteful spending, just like the entire federal government. We've seen that with the Department of Government Efficiency coming out, calling out certain groups, certain agencies, certain programs, and saying that they're wasting the taxpayers' dollars. So here's what's coming next. According to reports, and I'll just read off a quick little statement here. The Social Security Administration sends out a lot of different paper letters, and you probably received them in the mail. You probably received your SSA 1099. This is for taxes. This is your benefit statement. Okay? So if you file taxes, you probably receive this in the mail, right? And let me know. Hit that like button if you've received anything in the mail from the Social Security Administration, because this is likely going to stop, where you will not get a paper copy of anything in the future. It will all be electronic. It will all go to your Social Security portal, which then you can go to it and print it off. Here are some of the other things. Your Social Security Statement of Future Benefit Estimates. That is something that you likely get in the mail. When the new cost of living adjustment comes in and it gets announced, guess what you get? You get a letter in the mail stating your new benefit amount. You probably get award letters or approval letters if you get approved for a specific benefit. Notices about changes to claims or benefits, application confirmations, letters of replacement Social Security cards. You get all these things. They all come in the mail. Guess what? Because of what the Social Security Administration is doing, what the federal government has decided, that no more paper checks, there's going to be no more paper letters in the very near future. That's the next step. Okay? So, if you are currently receiving anything in the mail from the Social Security Administration outside of a physical Social Security card, well, this is going to change things. This is really going to change things. I want to read you that article, though. This is the one right here. Okay? So we can learn a little bit more about this. But who's this going to impact? Well, here's what you need to know. It's going to impact people that get paper checks. Okay? What paper check recipients need to know. Beneficiaries who already receive electronic payments do not need to take action. There's nothing you need to do because your payments are already going to your bank account. You don't get a paper check. It says those who are still receiving paper checks can enroll in direct deposit by calling the federal agency responsible for their payments, enrolling online at godirect.gov, or calling the Electronic Payment Solution Center at that number, according to the Treasury Department. One thing I do advise, and I'll be very clear on this, whenever somebody puts a number online and tells you to call it, and I don't care if it's me, whenever somebody tells you, you call this number. Give them all your valuable information. Honestly, I would not call this number right here on this CNBC website. I would actually go to the Treasury Department website and I'd find their number on their actual website. My guess is this is 100% correct. I didn't go and look, but again, I want to be very clear on this. Whenever somebody tells you to call a number that you see on a website, verify that number is correct. Don't just call it and trust everybody online. Even me, I'm telling you this, okay? Even when somebody tells me, a friend sends me a link, I don't click it. When somebody tells me, hey, call this number, this is the number you need to use. No, I verify it. Even though they're a friend, I still verify it. Okay, there's so many scams out there. So, just want to warn you on that one. Here's the other one though. It says, alternatively, you may choose to receive monthly benefit payments electronically through a Treasury-sponsored debit card. To sign up, you can call that number and contact the people there. It says some beneficiaries may still receive paper checks after the phase-out date. It says where a beneficiary has no other means to receive payment, we will continue to issue paper checks. However, they are going to phase that out. That you need to go and get a debit card. You need to go and sign up for direct deposit, something. Because they don't want to be sending out paper checks because it costs money. It costs the federal government money every single check they send out. That's why they don't want to do it. Now, I want to read you one last thing. The transition away from paper checks may be problematic for some people, particularly if they are homeless, disabled, unbanked, or just don't feel comfortable receiving an electronic payment. This is actually a big one. There's a lot of people out there that are not comfortable receiving or sending a payment electronically. I know a couple people that they do not have a credit card. They don't have a debit card. They just don't. Anytime they need to buy something, they go to the bank, pull out cash, and they use cash. The issue is, and this is how I found out this is one of those people, saw this person at I think it was like a Seattle Sounder soccer game or something. Lumen Field, which is where Seattle Sounders play here in Seattle, they're cashless. It's all card. They don't accept cash. That is the issue, and that's where the person was like, I can't buy anything. I all I have is cash. Yeah. So there is a large group of people out there. A lot of them are a little bit older, but they don't trust the system. That's why they don't have a debit card, don't have a credit card. And even though they're not unbanked, they just don't have the means or the desire to go and get one. So we'll see what happens, but I just wanted to share this with you because as of right now, there is a lot of people that are concerned about what's next. Because if you know the President Trump, you know the Trump administration, you know it's not always about what he's doing now, it's about what's next. So just prepare, because all paper, anything coming through paper, anything coming through the mail is likely going to stop during his administration. So we'll see what happens moving forward, but that is what we know as of today. So again, thank you guys for watching. Consider subscribing, and I'll see you guys on the next one.